We went into a period of time around the turn of the century also where horses were extremely prolific in the United States, and veterinarians had up until that point been trained by mostly military people. And after the Civil War, the first veterinary schools started popping up. They were not controlled at all by any government or agency or even an association. And by about 1900, there were almost 100 veterinary schools in the United States. There were 4 equine dental schools in the United States. And you could get a diploma for most of these schools mail order. You could order a pamphlet from the school and they would send you lessons that you did at home. You know, you'd read a chapter and fill out some questions at the end and then mail that back. And at the end of the course, you got a diploma. And so that was the way most veterinarians were trained, except for the few that went to the government-owned veterinary colleges. And as the popularity of the horse dried up during the early 1900s, mostly because of the automobile and tractors, by the First World War, almost all of these veterinary schools had closed their doors and gone out of business. And that's when we started better regulating veterinary medicine, and people started having to actually go to college and get a degree to call themselves veterinarians. This is did you see this slide 25?
In Yellowstone National Park?
Yeah, this is a picture taken from a history of military veterinary medicine that was published in the 1930s. And they're describing how dentistry was a fad in the late 1800s, and that what we do sometimes with incisor reductions, that had come back into popularity in the 1990s and early 2000s, where there were lots of horses that were getting incisor reductions. And this was also a fad back in the 1800s and 1890s. And Marlett describes there that it was much easier just to cut the incisors of the teeth off than it was to give people a lecture on anatomy to explain to them why you didn't cut the incisors off. So if they wanted them cut off, you just cut them off. And but they harmed a lot of horses doing that. Interchangeable float blades and these sets of dental tools, again, became properly manufactured in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And at that time, it was important that everything was really compact and portable, because these instruments were being hauled around on horseback. And so you had to have a set of tools that you could roll up and pack away in your saddle or on your dental wagon and go from farm to farm. And so there were lots of these sets that were used in both military and in civilian veterinary service. This slide 28 shows a full mouth speculum. This is one of the earliest designs of speculums that actually had incisor plates on them. And the Houseman gag was patented in 1895, and the McPherson speculum in 1901. And they were the first manufactured speculums that, again, had incisor plates on them. Up until that time, everything was used with gum plates. The pictures of the horse dentists. These were, 2 of these pictures were postcards